Show has been the biggest and most exciting dune and dirt sports expo in the world. And for the last 2 years, it's gotten even bigger with the addition of Speed Energy Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas. The Orange County Fair and Event Center here in Costa Mesa, California, side of round 12 and 13 of the 2014 season. Welcome everyone, I'm Brian Till along with Robbie Buell and Taylor Snyder. Trucks lining up in echelon fashion for the start. Here's how Formula Off-Road works. 15 rounds in 2014, 2 here this weekend, Robbie.
Yep, and what we have is we have 1 qualifying session, 2 heat races to set up for the 1 main, 25 points for a race win. You get 1 point for the fastest qualifier, 3 points for the most laps led.
Points coming into round 12 here. The championship's been tight. Certainly Robbie Gordon, who was our champion in 2013, wants to repeat here in 2014. He's got a good season going. Take a look at the points as they stand right now. Gordon leads by 46 markers over Sheldon Creed. Abdali Lopez has had 2 victories on the season, and that's big for him.
Yeah, and if you think of Abdali Lopez of 2 big victories, X Games in Indianapolis, how about that on your resume?
Well, and EJ Viso, IndyCar star, sitting there in 5th. He's won 3 different times this season, and for Robbie Gordon, every time he comes here to Costa Mesa, California, they put on an even better show.
It's our 2nd year at Sand Sports. Expect a good crowd here tonight. Racetrack this year is epic. It's back to like one of our stadiums, but bigger than a stadium. We're a stadium, we're stuck at about 500 feet. We've got an 800-foot straightaway. We've got a 450-foot section down the middle, so we're able to build a little bit better track. Definitely a faster track with not too many 180 completes. If they are 180s, they're not just hairpins like we had in Indianapolis. So as we build tracks, we get better at learning how to build tracks and put on better races.
Oh, and it's an awesome racetrack. First time we've seen a crossover jump for a while, Robbie.
It is exciting, tight metal ramps, dirt ramps, 1 to 2. That's where the dirt section is. Then you have this 4-5 section that's fling it back through their single file jump, a hairpin. Here you're coming under the crossover, and then turns 8, 9, and 10. They are really all sweeping together. Then the huge big crossover ramp, and then coming back to turn 1. There we see the Joker lap, and that Joker lap, it actually cuts out about 20 seconds of 1 lap around here, so just a huge amount of time with that Joker lap.
And you can take the Joker twice, 1 before the competition caution, 1 after. BJ Baldwin, off-road star, starts on the pole alongside Keegan Kincaid. Kincaid trying to gather points for Sheldon Creed this weekend. Creed not here at Costa Mesa.
And EJ Viso, winner of Heat 1. EJ absolutely has the aggressiveness and the speed in these trucks. Then Robbie Gordon, winner of Heat 2. We've inverted those top 2 rows.
Gordon with that orange number plate, signifying that he is the points leader. On board with Charles Dorrance. Dorrance out of Texas in his Rigid Industries SST, then alongside Bert Jenner. Not just a pretty face on television, but a pretty darn good race car driver as well.
Yep, and Robbie Gordon, we know what he has. His ability in these trucks is just phenomenal.
EJ Viso, we talked about 3 victories on the streets in Detroit, and then Keegan Kincaid. Man, and he and his Traxxas truck trying to gain points for Sheldon Creed.
And BJ Baldwin from there with the King shock trucks on, the Baja 1000 champion.
Now this is going to be completely different. An echelon start side by side. Here we go.
Le Mans diagonal start, and then just funneling right into these ramps. You have 2 lanes where the dirt sand jumps there, an inside one and an outside, and it's really hard to kind of figure out what guys like the most. And here's where you just kind of funnel into 1 car at a time, truck through there.
First of the metal ramps, it's BJ Baldwin that leads as they head down into the hairpin. This is where you can take the Joker, and you look up and you see trucks already beginning to take the Joker lane. EJ Viso, Robbie Gordon did just that.
And sure, when you take that Joker, what does that do for you? It gives you free track, open track in front of you. So EJ now, he's made that Joker. He's going to be leading this race, and he's got free track ahead of him, so he can make up time.
BJ Baldwin over that crossover jump, and then you see Viso on the metal ramps. He and Robbie Gordon have leapt to the front with the option of taking that Joker lane. And perhaps for BJ Baldwin, maybe being new to this and having that Joker lane, typically we see the leader take it right at the beginning.
But BJ, you know, he's got open track in front of him. He doesn't have anybody slowing him down, so he's still okay. There he goes. He's taking the Joker. There's the cutoff. And again, that's shaving off about 20 seconds off of a lap. It brings you right through to here. And look who he's ahead of, EJ Viso. So he hammered out a couple good laps, and EJ couldn't make up that distance.
Robbie Gordon running 3rd right now. The other thing we haven't seen before, Robbie Buell, is that light bar on top. It is dark here.
No question about that. Those are the Outlaw LED bars. Robbie Gordon has helped design those. We see them on Robbie Gordon's truck, Keegan Kincaid's truck, Aaron Baumbach's Discount Tire truck, and Scotty Steele's truck.
Riding on board with B.J. Baldwin as he works his way past E.J. Viso. How did he get past him? Remember, he took that joker lap on the second lap and got the lead back. How did it look from Viso's truck? Let's go back and take a look, Robbie.
And watch this. Here we're on board with E.J. Viso coming over the big crossover, and there, look at who comes across, shooting across right there on the joker lap. B.J. Baldwin, he maintains the lead.
Well, he got a great opening lap because he was able to build up enough of a lead to get in front of Viso, but Viso really hammering back
inside.
And the one thing E.J. Viso not afraid to do is you see the trucks going across the crossover is rub a little bit. He learned that in Detroit, and right now the idea that B.J. Baldwin is a Baja 1000 champion, E.J. Viso could care less.
And, you know, B.J. has absolutely got great truck experience, but ever since E.J. Viso in that live truck right there, he's been fast in these. Right from when he showed up at Long Beach, the guys knew he could win right out of the box, and he shows that in his speed and aggressiveness.
Well, Viso with a little bit of a nose-first landing back there in the sand section, and you can see Robbie Gordon now closing up on Viso right on the back bumper. And Viso with those bright lights from that Outlaw light bar shining right into the cockpit.
Yeah, that could actually maybe be a little advantage for Robbie, kind of fill the mirrors a little bit more of those guys in front of him, huh? A little more distraction.
A little bit of a distraction, and now Viso right back on the bumper of Baldwin. So first, second, and third running nose to tail as they come through the crossover. This is exactly what you expect to see in Formula Off-Road. Trucks flying high, and the competition intense. B.J. Baldwin can win in Baja. Can he win in Formula Off-Road? Speed Energy Formula Off-Road is brought to you by Traxxas, the fastest name in radio control. And by Toyo Tires, driven to perform. Back at Sand Sports Super Show, it's round 12 of 15 for Formula Off-Road. B.J. Baldwin in the blue and black number 97 has his hands full. E.J. Viso, the IndyCar star, right behind him. And you ride on board with Robbie Gordon right there, and Viso into the side of Baldwin.
Just blast him right out of the way. We got RG that takes the lead. B.J. Baldwin just laying down some rubber with those Toyo tires and drops back to fifth, right on the door there of Dali Lopez in the Visit Mexico truck.
Robbie Gordon misses all the melee in front of him. E.J. Viso has a truck that is not in the shape it was in at the drop of the green, and Gordon has set sail to the lead. Keegan Kincaid really now beginning to put pressure in. There he is on the left.
Right on the inside, but you got to get down to single file right through that little switchback. You cannot go through there side by side. Kincaid takes the spot from EJ.
And championship implications here. Right now, Keegan Kincaid.
EJ says, no. EJ just says, I'm still here. You're not just going to go by me and let me go to sleep.
Keegan Kincaid gathering points for Sheldon Creed this weekend. And look at Viso into the side of him. Really roughing up Keegan Kincaid.
Lopez off the ramp. Man.
E.J. Viso driving like a man possessed right here, and you see the replay into the side of Baldwin. That was the first incident.
That was off the crossover, and he just came and really rammed in the side of that truck, and that's when Gordon went to the lead.
Looking from Baldwin's truck as he gets turned, and you see Robbie Gordon flash by and into the lead. On board with Robbie Gordon.
Really he has the best seat in the house. Just watch this. Look at that. Just that truck crawls all over. EJ's truck crawls all over Baldwin's truck.
This is on board with Keegan Kincaid as he tries to get past E.J. Viso and does. But then, boom, Viso, a man possessed. Same kind of move that he put on Baldwin.
Pretty aggressive. Probably, you know, those guys, let's just say Keegan Kincaid and E.J. Baldwin are going to remember that.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what I was saying about Keegan Kincaid, though. He's driving that 74 truck for Sheldon Creed. Creed is second in the championship, so Keegan Kincaid gathering points for Sheldon Creed. That has championship implications. He needs to collect a lot of points. Up and over, you ride with Robbie Gordon, the leader. Gordon didn't have the fastest truck up to this point, but thanks to E.J. Viso, he's gone to the front. Yeah, and you got to think B.J. Baldwin is not a small man. He's he's not going to be so happy with EJ Viso.
But there's still a lot of racing left. Remember, we're going to have a competition yellow midway through this, so that kind of just brings everybody back together. It's great for the fans. It kind of gives some of the other competitors a second chance. And in the second half, after that competition yellow, you can take the Joker again. So a lot more left.
Here's the battle for second. On board with Keegan Kincaid, Abdali Lopez just in front, up and over the metal ramp. They'll come into the hairpin. Keegan Kincaid getting to work his way back up. He had a fast truck, but Viso moved him back with that contact. Lopez got through.
And Keegan Kincaid's background, obviously, dirt background, short track stuff. Yeah, there's pavement here, but there's dirt here. But this is technical. It's short around here, and just his ability in terms of truck control, I think that really shows what Keegan Kincaid can do.
Well, he's the 2013 Torque Pro Light champion. So, yeah, he knows how to go over these jumps. He knows about driving on short tracks in trucks, and he's just going to continue to put pressure on Lopez, who Lopez has improved so much this year with 2 victories. He came out of the 1600cc karts, but he's really adapted well to these SST trucks.
Yeah, with really 2 of the biggest wins on the circuit all year, with winning in Indianapolis and then the X Games. That's pretty huge.
If you're going to pick 2 of them off the schedule to win at, those would be the 2. Now Kincaid up over the crossover.
And love that crossover jump. There's a little kicker right at the end of that jump that just gives a little extra jump. And there, that was a really good example of the 2 lanes of the dirt jumps. One jump comes before the other one you can get there faster, but it launches you higher on the inside of that dirt section.
3-speed automatic transmission and also a turning brake. You'll watch the drivers reach down and grab the turning brake, which locks the rear tires and helps the truck turn.
Yeah, and amazing jump. As you said, this is a technical, short little track. Guys will run first gear all the way around here. Here we're back up the front. There are those big LED lights on Robbie Gordon's truck. There's the outside of the ramps. That jump comes first of the dirt ramps, anyhow, the dirt jumps. And then you had the inside.
This is what's so challenging. You come off that dirt back onto the pavement, and that sand gets drug out there. And all night long, it's going to change. Abdali Lopez slowing over the crossover. Lopez has a problem.
Oh. He knows it. He knows it. He just slammed his fist down and kind of pointed to the guy to his right, who was Keegan Kincaid, said, I got a problem.
What a great job by Lopez, though. He knows he's got the problem. He gets out of the way. Competition caution. Big flies, and Robbie Gordon leads to the halfway point in the competition caution. We still have a long way to go from the Sand Sports Super Show. Robbie Gordon leads from California. Speed Energy Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas at the Sand Sports Super Show. And what an awesome event this is. The crowd even bigger than it was last year. And why wouldn't you come? The weather's perfect. You got all that food. And you got this. You've got Formula Off-Road.
And off-road, Southern California, this is the home of it. If you want to see the latest and greatest of off-road accessories,
it's here.
It's here, and equipment right here at the Sand Sports Super Show.
Coming to the restart. Remember, we've got that Joker lane that can be used. It's in play again for every one of these drivers. The green flag flies up and over the crossover. Robbie Gordon, he leads, and now here comes the action. They're back on it big time. Who will take the Joker on this first lap? Keegan Kincaid, Robbie Gordon?
And watching that front straightaway of those dirt jumps to try and figure out, is it the inside lane or the outside lane quicker? It's really a mixed bag. And, you talk about mixed bag of driving styles around here. There they are. They're taking the Joker. That usually is a 180 that you can continue around, but there they are. And look at Kincaid's with them, Baldwin's with them. So 1, 2, 3 said, we're taking the Joker.
Well, you expect that the first driver will, because he's got clear sailing in front. He wants to try to add to his advantage. Sometimes second and third. Remember, at the start, B.J. Baldwin elected not to take it right at the beginning.
Which if B.J. felt that he was being held up by the guy in front of him,
hence the time to take it.
Take it. If he would have saw his competition take it, and then he says, okay, I'm not going to take it, so he obviously didn't feel he was being held up. Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely. Robbie Gordon up and over the crossover, back onto the sand in the rhythm section, and you talked about which line do you want to take here. The bumps are staggered inside to outside, so you got to decide which one is going to work best for you when you're alone, which one's going to work best in traffic. And as they come off that sand onto the pavement, track is going to change all night long, just like we were talking about.
Well, and truck control is king around here. But talking with a lot of the drivers, it's amazing. It's a 50-50 split in terms of, you talk about having 3 gears, 600 horsepower with these trucks. Some guys are running first gear all the way around this track because it gets so busy. Yeah, they have to fight a little bit of power down wheel spin, but it's just less time that they got to be shifting and can concentrate on keeping their hands on the wheel.
Well, you bring up a good point. Sometimes you don't equate noise with speed just because you're turning more RPM and it's making more engine noise. If you can't put the power to the ground, it means you're not going anywhere. You ride on board with Baldwin, Baja 1000 race winner and defending champion, so he certainly knows how to get it done on the long course, but this is a new type of racing for him. Trucks are similar, but a very different environment.
And especially when you take these trucks and you put them on pavement with concrete barriers on both sides, visually it's a whole different thing. And again, what these guys can do with these trucks, you have so much body roll, so much power in these things, the brake pedal of these Tayo full treaded terrain tires. I mean, just all that combination and the way these guys can maneuver these trucks is really pretty awesome.
On board with Scotty Steele, up and over the crossover. You just saw EJ Viso go by just in front. Viso takes the crossover, and you can tell that Scotty Steele driving a bit of a damaged truck. Viso now up to 4th.
Yeah, that was Viso actually coming across there on the Joker.
Back through the hairpin, Gordon continuing to lead over Keegan Kincaid and then BJ Baldwin. We talk about the punishment the trucks go through, but you mentioned it. Those Toyo tires, they have got to work in the sand, they've got to work over the jumps, they've got to work on the pavement, and the punishment, these are tires that come right off your street truck.
Yeah, we could go buy these at the store and put them out on our street vehicles, so it's incredible the durability of what they're put through and how they perform.
Gordon deciding to take the inside lane that time through the sand in the rhythm section, and it may have been a little bit quicker as he's pulled out a bit of an advantage over the 74.
And remember, this track really, in certain places, is probably changing every lap as you're pulling dirt and sand from the jump section as that just goes further around the racetrack. There's other areas where they're actually putting rubber down a little bit. So you always are altering your style and approach as the race goes along.
BJ Baldwin up and over the crossover, and a pretty hard landing on the nose that time. You've got to be a bit careful. You've got a lot of suspension travel, 24 inches of travel in the rear, 18 in the front. If you land it too nose heavy, you can damage that front suspension.
But amazingly enough, that big crossover jump where they're getting 30 feet in the air, talking with some of the guys, they said just with having that dirt landing is a lot softer than just this flat, the 32-inch metal ramps that are putting you and launching you up and landing flat on the pavement. It's a little softer just having that little dirt mound that you land on the crossover.
Gordon, so smooth, and it's one of his trademarks. He's driven so many different kinds of cars, whether it's Indy cars, stock cars, or off-road, knows how to treat these different types of pavement. And Baldwin, one more time, really hard landing over the crossover on the front end. Good racing for first, second, and third, but great racing a little further back in the field. Anytime you watch Formula Off-Road, you're going to have battles all around the racetrack. That's what we have here at Sand Sports.
Trucks are all identically prepared, so anybody that comes in here, Robbie Gordon's team, these guys bring these trucks here, and everybody has the same thing. So it really is a unique opportunity for young drivers coming in. Obviously, these top 3 guys from Robbie to Kincaid to BJ are really specialists when it comes to off-road, but coming in from a different form of racing like an EJ Vizio from Indy cars, hey, look at how quick he's adapted, and he's competitive right out of the box. You don't have to be an off-road guy to be competitive.
No, you don't. And you look at drivers like Aaron Bombach in the field in his Discount Tires truck. He knows that the future of motorsports entertainment lies in series like this where you've got a compact venue and fantastic crowds just like we have here. Where's BJ Baldwin? You see Robbie Gordon go by.
And there we got Kincaid right behind him. BJ should be right back there, but he has dropped out of our screen.
BJ Baldwin with a problem. You ride on board, you see that the frustration.
Hands off the wheel there, kind of shaking the head. He's pulling off to the side.
Oh, so disappointing to see. He had such a good run going. and now some type of mechanical issue. He has dropped back, but right now Keegan Kincaid has not dropped back. He is putting the pressure on Robbie Gordon. Pushing hard, Gordon up and over the metal ramps into the hairpin. Around we go. It seems like there are certain sections of the racetrack where Gordon has an advantage. Keegan Kincaid just a little bit quicker perhaps through the sand sections.
Well, and when you look at that section right there, 8, 9, and 10 kind of sweep through. You see some guys run a little tighter line through there, and Robbie runs a tighter line through it. It's amazing. It seems as though he just really has a great feel of this truck and just keeps it hooked up as he runs that tight line through there.
You saw Keegan Kincaid reaching up and working that turning brake with his right hand. It's the lever on the far right, the lever on the left is the shift lever. Up and over the crossover, and Keegan Kincaid closes back up. Really putting pressure on Robbie Gordon. Here's the battle for fourth. You're right on board with Burt Jenner trying to get past Scotty Steele.
And you saw the big air on that Gladiator tire car, and Jenner does get by Scotty Steele. He went on that inside lane right there as they come. The white flag, 1 to go. Robbie Gordon, Kincaid chasing him down.
Impressive move by Burt Jenner. He gets better and better every weekend here in Formula Off-Road, really taking the fight to Scotty Steele. He gets by. The question is, can Keegan Kincaid get past Robbie Gordon? Less than a lap to go.
He's been close, but you haven't seen him really close up to get alongside and get by him.
He's going to have to lay a fender on him if
he's
going to get by him. He's got the opportunity right there. Doesn't get it done. Is he going to have to settle for second? Remember, he's driving for Sheldon Creed to collect points for Creed's championship hopes. Coming to the checkered flag, Robbie Gordon in his Speed Energy SST win round 12 from Sand Sports Super Show. Keegan Kincaid comes up just short, but look at this, the battle continues for fourth. Scotty Steele still trying to pressure Burt Jenner. Jenner with an awesome pass, got past Steele for fourth. They're going to take that battle all the way to the checkered flag. It's going to be Burt Jenner who takes fourth place. Scotty Steele rounds out the top 5. And a little celebration for Robbie Gordon.
Yeah, fantastic. Just a little bicycling along there. But the format of this kind of racing, this stadium racing with the dirt jumps and metal runs that the fans can see everywhere, this is the formula going forward. This is exciting.
It is absolutely awesome, and the
look at
crowd
this.
loves it. Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas. We'll be back to talk to our winner right after this. Speed Energy Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas here at the Sand Sports Super Show. Round 12 of the 2014 season certainly did not disappoint. Robbie Gordon takes the victory, Robbie Buell. But man, it wasn't easy.
Keegan Kincaid was absolutely filling his mirrors, and what a great job he did, standing in to collect points on the Traxxas truck for Sheldon Creed.
Well, for Robbie Gordon, it's another victory, and it helps in his championship hopes. Let's go to Taylor Snyder.
Robbie, there was a lot of action going on in that race, a lot of laps out there, but you definitely held your line. How do you think about this night racing?
Well, I love night racing. I like stadiums. I like a stadium-style event. I know this isn't an LA Coliseum-style stadium, but it's about double the size, 800 feet long, 400 feet wide. We were able to make a pretty good little stadium truck race here with a combination of dirt and asphalt, and a big crossover jump. Brought that back again, so it's pretty cool. Thank you.
Robbie Gordon, indeed, it is pretty cool. Sheldon Creed now trails by 61. Keegan Kincaid driving the 74 tonight, doing everything he could to collect points for Sheldon Creed. But when you're carrying someone else's championship on your shoulders, you got to have a lot of pressure. Let's go back down to Taylor.
Keegan, you were chasing down Robbie Gordon that last lap. How is it racing him?
Oh, you know, Robbie races me clean, and EJ and BJ got into it a little bit and gave me and Robbie a chance to get by him, and we were racing 1-2, and I wanted to race him clean because I know he'd do the same to me. And we got another race tomorrow, and this Traxxas truck ran great, and hopefully we can put it on the top spot tomorrow.
Now, I see how you drive RC cars, but hopefully you can keep it on all fours here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, you know, these things are just as durable as those RC cars, and I can't thank for Traxxas enough for giving me the opportunity to come out here and race against the best, and look forward to doing it tomorrow.
Well, and that's exactly what they are, scaled up Traxxas radio-controlled trucks. We'll be back for round 13, race number 2 from Sand Sports right after this. Race number 2 from Sand Sports Super Show for Speed Energy Formula Off-Road, presented by Traxxas, about to get underway from Costa Mesa, California. The trucks lined up echelon style, just like they were for race number 1. BJ Baldwin, you ride on board with him in his King Shocks SST. PJ Jones now in the 57.
Yep, filling in for Bill Hines, who had an incident in the heat race, so welcome back, PJ.
Nick Vanis in his Icon Wrap truck. Starting alongside Aaron Bombach, discount tire down the side of that Stadium Super Truck.
And Robbie Gordon, again, remember the LED lights above these guys on board with Keegan Kincaid. He's got an LED light. Robbie Gordon does. Aaron Bombach, Scotty Steele. So when we see those big Outlaw LED lights coming at us, those are the 4 with them on board.
Keegan Kincaid with Traxxas all down the side. It looks like one of those giant radio control
Look who's a little
trucks.
banged up there. Did you see that?
Yeah,
That was
it
EJ Vizo, just a little bang up on the front.
And EJ Vizo so aggressive. He'll start alongside Keegan Kincaid. Then Robbie Gordon starts third. That orange number plate signifying championship leader.
In the 4 spot, Abdali Lopez, he was the winner of Heat 2. Again, same thing. They've inverted the top 2 rows here for the beginning of round 13.
And it's going to be intense a little further back. You saw Scotty Steele back there in 6th, Burt Jenner in 8th. The Jenner and Steele had a great run to 4th in race number 1, getting ready for the standing start. This new echelon style standing start, new to Formula Off-Road. Here we go.
And you got to funnel into really a single groove the way they come into the dirt section of jumps here.
It's almost like a motocross start, different lines down through the bump section.
Robbie to the inside on Keegan.
Gordon leads through turns 2 and 3, but already EJ Vizo beginning to shovel a little bit the hood off of that truck. He has been very aggressive here. Abdali Lopez in the red, white, and green Visit Mexico truck.
There's the Joker.
It was Kincaid, EJ Vizo, Aaron Bombach, Burt Jenner, Vanis, Dorrance. They all took the Joker
So
lap.
now the game will be is where is Robbie going to come out relative to those guys when he takes the Joker? Okay, he's in 7th spot right now with those guys taking the Joker. When he takes the Joker, where's he going to pop in with these guys?
And when is he going to decide to take the Joker? Look at EJ Vizo really putting pressure on the 74 of Keegan Kincaid.
And the one thing, EJ, as he kind of looks to just tap Keegan again, he doesn't have to worry about his hood popping off because he started the race without it.
He's lost that already a long time ago. Vizo very aggressive here at Sand Sports. Saw Robbie Gordon in the background, did not take the Joker. There he is. So he's elected not to do it just yet.
But Robbie knows what he has to do. He knows none of those guys are behind him, and they took the Joker. So he's just talking to himself. Be clean, be smooth, put a couple really good laps together so hopefully he can jump to the front when he does take the Joker.
It'll be a 20-lap race here in race number 2 at the halfway mark, a competition yellow. You get 1 Joker lane before the competition yellow, 1 after it. Don't forget to use it here in the first half.
And now will Robbie Gordon use it here as the place through this turn 6, and he's coming straight at, so he is on the Joker lane. We're on board with Keegan. Where's Robbie? We just saw Robbie go by. It's probably gapped him about 10 truck lengths, so Robbie put it together and had a couple good laps and made it work.
I think that's exactly what he needed to do with all the other trucks out of his way, even though he was back in 7th. He was able to put some good lap time in, and when he did choose to take that Joker, he used it well to his advantage, Robbie.
Yeah, and there's times when other guys have taken the Joker. Look at this battle here. Lopez, we're on board with Vizo. Vizo again saying hello.
And who is EJ Vizo not hit?
Well, I don't know if we can answer that. Well, Lopez is taken care of. Here we're back on board with Lopez. He's rejoined things.
EJ Vizo, I've never seen him this aggressive. Robbie Gordon out in front. He played that Joker to his advantage. Now he's going to use the inside lane a bit through the sand section. Now back onto the asphalt. Yeah, EJ is beating and banging on some people, and now that's Burt Jenner, I believe. In fact, it is. He's
saying hello to us.
What's up? What's up? Cut down tire is the report that we're getting. Gordon into the barriers there a little bit.
Which is too bad for Jenner because he really has just come along with these trucks. He had a 4th place finish in race 1, so not to finish this, that's a blow.
Great run in his Gladiator tire truck yesterday. You were on board with Keegan Kincaid for just a moment there. We saw Robbie Gordon get into that barrier. Got to take care of that left front suspension. these hydro barriers, you can hit them pretty hard and do some damage if you're not careful.
But if you're just going to pull off the banner, you're okay. It's if you're going to get into it, then you're going to tweak it. Can Kincaid right now close the gap on Robbie? That's the question, you know.
It's what we saw yesterday. Keegan Kincaid closing back down on Robbie Gordon, but he just didn't have anything for him in the end. And one more time, Keegan Kincaid doing a great job in the 74, filling in for Sheldon Creed. But catching Robbie Gordon is one thing.
Passing's a whole nother game. You know, we always see that is you can get stuck behind that guy. But right now, you know, he has to close those couple car lengths so he can tap Robbie and say, yeah, I'm here, just as a reminder, or be right there so if Robbie does make some little bobble, he can capitalize on it.
Closing in on the halfway mark of the race. The other thing Keegan Kincaid needs to do is remember, he'll have another 10 laps to get it done. So just conserve what you've got right now. Don't throw it away unless you're given the opportunity.
Excellent point is the driver mentality. Remember, we have a competition yellow coming up. So don't burn your truck up right now. You know you're going to have a yellow and kind of bring everything back together.
These Toyo tires are seeing everything. They're seeing that soft, cool dirt. They're seeing that asphalt, and it's all getting 600 horsepower through it. Nick Vanis with a problem in his Icon Wraps Traxxas SST.
Like the red, white, and blue on that machine.
I like it, but we were talking about the tires. They go from that cool dirt to the asphalt and then get heated up very quickly. Remember, these are DOT-approved tires, and the deep tread doesn't like the heat. It's amazing that they stand up as well as they do. We're talking about Keegan Kincaid protecting a little bit. Needs to make sure he's got a truck to fight with in the second half. On board right now without Dali Lopez. P.J. Jones to the outside.
Battling here, and you got to get down to single file. And then look at that. It looked like PJ his rear just slid out a little bit, and then Dolly just went over the hood on that thing.
You talk about getting single file. It almost felt like PJ was trying to back out of it at the last minute. I can't really tell.
He was. I think
he
was just carrying a lot of speed in there and got sideways, and his nose came back around.
Why would I ever say P.J. Jones was trying to back out of anything? From on board. PJ, yeah. One of the hardest charging drivers out there.
On board with Lopez as we approach this. There we see PJ off to the right, and he's going to ride over. That looked pretty calm from the cockpit there of
shows you
Lopez.
How sturdy these trucks are, and that suspension travel allows you to do that.
And you were just talking about the Toyo tires and how incredibly durable they are. How about these SST Traxxas trucks and the pounding they just keep taking is awesome.
I think they're every bit as durable as their radio-controlled counterparts. Nick Vanis being passed there and up and over from the crossover. Is that not spectacular?
Love that shot. Isn't that great?
Robbie Gordon continuing to lead. Keegan Kincaid once again carrying Sheldon Creed's championships on his shoulders, trying to close that gap.
And again, he doesn't have to pull out all the stops right now. We still have that competition yellow we're waiting for that's going to bring everything back together.
Should be coming here shortly, maybe this lap. Robbie Gordon around one more time. Keegan Kincaid wants to stay close. You know what? A little psychological game going on too. Kincaid shining those lights in the back of Robbie Gordon's truck saying, hey brother, just want you to remember, I'm right here, I'm right here. And after we get this little break for this competition caution, I'm coming after you.
Right there kind of bumping you.
Yeah, I expect to see them play just a little bit harder after this competition caution. And there the yellow flies.
And this is really great for the drivers because it gives them a second chance. It bunches them together. But more so than that, this is about the show. Bring this back to it, make it exciting for the fans, and they're going to love it.
Keegan Kincaid flashing his lights at Robbie Gordon saying, when we go back to green, I'm coming after you. We'll be right there right after this. The Sand Sports Super Show from the Orange County Fair and Event Center here in Costa Mesa, California. Speed Energy Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas. There is a Traxxas radio-controlled truck. Look just like the big ones. Oh, there's another one up there. Big hang time. This is the biggest crowd I have ever seen for Speed Energy Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas, and they are getting one heck of a show
and
here tonight.
The hang time on that slow-motion RC Traxxas trucks, way cool.
Very way cool. Hey, talk about way cool. We're back to green. Robbie Gordon leads. Keegan Kincaid right behind him. It is go time for Kincaid. rest of the field right behind. And remember, you've got another joker to burn here in the second half. Who will take the joker lane?
And what's the right time to use it? Am I being held up by somebody? Do I need clean track? Or am I focused in my mirrors, keeping somebody behind me?
Here's the opportunity. Who's going to take it? Keegan Kincaid does.
Okay, so now Keegan needs to lay down the lap of his life. He needs to be tidy, put it together, and he needs to shave a second and a second and a half off of that versus what this guy's doing, Robbie Gordon, so he can leapfrog him when Robbie takes his joker.
Well, and that's exactly right. We saw Robbie Gordon play it to his advantage a little bit earlier. And, big contact in the background.
Vizo.
It's Vizo in the number 3 of Charles Dorrance. I think I recognize the Rigid Industries logo on the side. In fact, it is Dorrance. Big contact back there, and I think that was the joker lane and the crossover coming together. Speaking of the joker, yes, indeed.
Straight across. There it is. Now, where's Keegan Kincaid going to be? Right
he's
there.
Right there.
Right there.
Oh, what a lap by Keegan Kincaid. Almost pulls it off, but he also almost comes together just like E.J. Vizo and Charles Dorrance just did.
So what does it say in the rule book about who should yield on jokers merging to the track?
Well, we just saw Gordon and Keegan Kincaid do it right. This is how to do it wrong. On board with Charles Dorrance. He comes through the joker.
And look off to the left because we know E.J. comes off the crossover. There's the contact.
Yeah, that yield, well, there wasn't a yield. On board with E.J. Vizo now on the right side of the screen.
Remember,
Dorrance?
That's Dorrance coming. He's taking the joker lane and comes straight across and just rams him in the side.
Yeah, they get together. This is looking out the back of E.J. Vizo's live Momo truck.
And continues on in his SST, Traxxas built tough truck.
And that was on board with Keegan Kincaid. You saw how close Robbie Gordon was there at the merge.
If that was off by the thousands, they would have absolutely come together. I mean, because neither of them were lifting. Kincaid didn't lift. He just blended in, and it just happened to be 1 inch off Robbie's bumper.
There was no way Keegan Kincaid was going to lift. And I wonder if before he even got to the jump, if he could see Gordon out of the corner of his eye just a little bit and was thinking, I think I might have this.
Oh, you know, as a driver from that cockpit, you know what you're doing. You know who you're racing. He absolutely was looking that way.
Man, it doesn't get any closer than that, and that is what Speed Energy Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas is all about. Now Keegan Kincaid has to take the battle back to Robbie Gordon.
And throwing those joker lanes in here, I mean, it absolutely creates excitement. The fans love it, the whole event. It just throws another element here of surprise that you just never know how it's going to play out.
Gordon and Keegan Kincaid having a good battle. So is the battle for 3rd and 4th. In fact, they just jumped over it. Scotty Steele and B.J. Baldwin just went right underneath Robbie Gordon and Keegan Kincaid.
No, and B.J. and Scotty Steele, they've been hammering each other lap after lap. So that really is a great battle for 3rd.
Well, and B.J. Baldwin really coming to grips with this short track type of racing. So expect that to stay intense to the end. Robbie Gordon with a little
deep.
Oh, he's got a problem, Robbie. He didn't just get in deep. The car stalled for a second, and Keegan Kincaid has taken over the lead of this race.
Yeah, and Kincaid was actually probably back 3 or 4 car lengths, so Robbie stumbled there where something definitely went wrong. Kincaid slipped by the inside.
It's like Gordon lost fire for just a moment. He had a fuel pickup problem earlier in the practice, and you've got to wonder if perhaps the fuel just sloshed away from the pickup.
And sometimes when that happens, if it does slosh away and there's just a little hesitation, it absolutely breaks your momentum as a driver when you're going into that corner.
And that's all it takes when the competition is this intense. Can Keegan Kincaid find his first victory of the season? Speed Energy Formula Off-Road was brought to you by Traxxas, the fastest name in radio control. And by Toyo Tires, driven to perform. Just a few laps remain from here in Costa Mesa at the Sand Sports Super Show. It's race number 2. And right now, Keegan Kincaid looking for his first victory of the season, and that is key for Sheldon Creed. He's not here, but remember, Keegan Kincaid, he's collecting points for Sheldon Creed tonight.
And to back up his 2nd place finish of race 1 here to top that off with a 1st place finish, that's a good bundle of points.
Absolutely, it would be huge, but hey, it's not over. Robbie Gordon really, really trying to fight back after that little hiccup. We don't know what the problem was, but it was just a slight hesitation coming through one of the corners, and it was all it took for Keegan Kincaid to jump by.
And for Robbie right now, again, he's pressing. There you can see he's braking, closing in under the brake zone there, but he needs to get close enough to Keegan just to fill his gears with forcing in and making a little bobble, a little mistake to get by.
And Gordon's truck has looked perfect since the problem, so just odd to see, but he's really charging back hard now. The battle for first and second, intense, just as you would expect it. It's what we saw in race number 1 here. And certainly what we're seeing tonight.
Yep. Great air all over that crossover jump. Absolutely fantastic.
Through the sand, the rhythm section. Gordon running out of time. He's going to have to get it done. The white flag should be displayed this time by. Through the hairpin. And Robbie Gordon not afraid to put a little bumper.
So where he needs to think about maybe making his move is in the dirt section. Do you go to the outside lane or stay in the inside lane? Let's watch him on board right here.
It's time. It's go time. Robbie Gordon cannot wait any longer. There is the white flag. While the battle up front is intense, this is the battle for third.
And look at there. There's Baldwin taking the Joker. He was right on the heels of Steele for that third place position. Shot across and took the Joker. Now,
I think that's an extra time.
There's first, second, so we got Kincaid, Gordon, and there's Baldwin. We haven't seen those three grouped together, so I think he chose a little extra Joker in there maybe.
Yeah, B.J. Baldwin has tried a little too hard to move forward. He's taken the Joker lane in extra time. Meanwhile, Keegan Kincaid trying to hold on for the victory. Robbie Gordon may have something to say about this before the checkered flag.
And this is the final turn. They're coming to the checkered in that crossover jump now.
Keegan Kincaid wins race number 2 from the Sand Sports Super Show. Spectacular drive by Keegan Kincaid. Robbie Gordon says the same thing. Big thumbs up. Man, and the crowd here, standing room only, they saw a great one.
The car control of those two guys up at the front there, Robbie Gordon, Keegan Kincaid, absolutely impressive on this just short, ever-changing track with all the different type of terrain and jumps.
Scotty Steele comes home third. B.J. Baldwin moved all the way back to 7th. Last car on the lead lap, but for Keegan Kincaid, his first victory of the season.
Keegan, what a battle out there. I know you were racing extremely clean, but it's hard to be clean out there when you've got extremely good drivers out there like Robbie Gordon and B.J. Baldwin right on your tail.
Yeah, Robbie doesn't make a mistake off, and then he said his truck shut off right there, and he gave me the opportunity to take the lead, and I just couldn't give it back to him. You know, I just had to hold my line, and you know, we race each other clean, and he did that to me, so he just returned the favor. But I can't be happier to put this Traxxas truck on top of the box today. You know, I think it ran flawless. These things are just like the RC cars. You know, we roll them over, flip them back over, and keep going, and they last all day, and I just couldn't be happier to be up here.
Well, and the victory, yeah, it's great for Keegan Kincaid, but really important for Sheldon Creed because he'll get those points that Keegan Kincaid collected for the victory. We'll head back down to Taylor and Robbie Gordon.
Robbie, I know you and Keegan had some battles in this race prior. Obviously, it turned out that you two are the top competitors. Unfortunately, you were one step lower, but great race out there today.
Yeah, I know Keegan was on it. I saw him the whole time. He was right behind me. When he took his Joker, I stayed on the main line, and I mean we came out exactly where we were. So his lap on the Joker was the money, and my lap on the Joker was the money. So we came out right next to each other, which was awesome. And obviously, a very competitive race. Got a great talent of drivers here. You know, with B.J. Baldwin, Scotty Steele, Kincaid, all the guys, Vizo. It's awesome. And I think the fans got their money's worth tonight. It was a good show.
Like you said, great drivers out here. Of course, that makes it a lot tougher. How much pressure is on you to not make a mistake out there?
Well, you know, we got to live up to the name of Traxxas and be able to build some tough trucks. And we build tough enough trucks that the guys can just keep beating them all day long. So I'm really proud of the guys working on them, and obviously the guys engineered them back in the shop. So I feel good about our cars. I feel good about the series, and I'm stoked that we packed the house.
They definitely packed the house, and I loved this racetrack here, Robbie Buell.
No question. I mean, this is the home of off-road, so what a great event. You know, if you're the enthusiast for off-road accessories, equipment, and then to see a show like this with this talented group of drivers, fantastic.
And we're staying out west for round 14 of 15 from the Coronado Speed Festival from the historic Naval Air Station, North Island. You'll see it right here on NBC SN. For Taylor Snyder, Robbie Buell, I'm Brian Till. Thanks for joining us on NBCSN.